Welcome in, everybody, into the Nexus Gaming Series Division A East matchup, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be Tricky Gooses versus Smooth Brain Kamikaze. On the left-hand side, we have Tricky Gooses, Duck on the Joanna, Lumi on the Rhaegar, Compute X on the Hanzo, Wise on the Dahaka, and Birdie on the Uther. Over on the side of Smooth Brain Kamikaze, we got Lullins on the Hogger, Viper on the Brightwing, Jacqueline Hyde on the Junkrat, Nyan on the Kael'thas, and Durr on the Garrosh. As I mentioned, Kael'thas is going to go Mana Addict at level 1. Let's go ahead and get that Twitch prediction going. How many stacks of Mana Addict by the end of the game will the Kael'thas have? This is Infernal Shrines. It is a double soak-based map, so go ahead and get your gambles in right now. Hey Ninja, what's up? How's your day going, bud? Hey Kaimo Tripson. I know this. I know you just said this is NGS, but the CCLA and Wisdom Mall of America is August 5th through 7th. Did you know? Also known as BahaCon. Yes, I just heard about this last night. Apparently, I just learned about it from my own Twitch chat. I hope you're having a great day, Kaimo. Good to see everyone in chat. All right, so we'll see Wise and Lullins go up in the top lane. We do have that Hogger going into the Journeyman's Cooking at level 1, so going to be building out the heal going to be building out the maximum health with that. But let's focus in on the engagement through the bottom lane. Snargles, thank you for the tier 1 for 12 months. Thank you for a whole year of support. Your alert should go off when the game does end. Thank you again, Snargles, for the tier 1. Thank you for a whole frickin' year of support. Thank you very much. Hogger in top lane will be able to push up a wave. We do have Garrosh checking the bush. Does get a stack on his level 1. That Warbreaker for his Groundbreaker. There's a toss onto Wise, who is going to spread the living bomb to the Joanna, but this is not really the concern. Duck gets on the point, steals away the camp. Junkrat unable to get any sort of concussion mine value, but that is a great drag from Dahaka, and first blood goes over to the side of Tricky Gooses. Alrighty, well, first objective will be Frozen Punisher in the top lane. And until then, we drink some tea, we watch the lanes get cleared, and we see another camp to be grabbed for the bottom lane. Sorry, I grabbed the dental treat because I can't see Bandit, so I don't want, like, and I can't hear because I have headphones on, so just safety things. Anyways, 4 talent and a little bit of an experience lead by a solid level at the current rate from Tricky Gooses. Garrosh is going to hit that Groundbreaker, but it's not going to connect onto Hanzo. Little Gravity Lapse to go out as well. That one won't be able to connect onto Hanzo either. And we got 3 stacks on the Kael'thas at his level 1. And there's that Frozen Punisher. Well, stun from Uther. Really nice kind of anchoring in the bush from this secondary tank, secondary support. Living Bomb applied, but it really doesn't matter. Duck comes in with a great convection. There's going to be a cleanse. And that's it. All right, soothing mist value. Some hearths out from both sides. It looks like we will be seeing just a little bit of yeah, mana needs to be gained for Hanzo. Uther could use some mana, but he's just going to auto attack through the mid wave. And just wait for actually the front gate to do most of the work for him. Dahaka's already starting out the objective phase. Not a bad start. Already has a quarter of the way through the skeletal defenders necessary. I was going to ask, does he have a burrow available? What did he go for at level 4? He does have that lurker strain for the knockback and invisibility, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be enough for Wise. Does have the enhanced agility, moving a little bit faster at 124% when tapping a bush for 5 seconds at the current stacking rate that it has. And 5 stacks on the Hanzo. Does have the explosive arrow for a little bit more of this shrine wave clear. A lot of good damage on the Garrosh, who pops the Indomitable, gets a really good heal out as well from the I'm blanking on the name of the talent. It's not Cleave. What is it? I can't remember off the top of my head. Bloodthirst. His Bloodthirst. Healing up from that Bloodthirst was actually really, really well done from Durr. Just playing in that kind of low health pool area that Garrosh does so very well. I was actually struggling against Garrosh yesterday. I think it was a Garrosh yesterday where it's just one of those things you just couldn't kill him because he just kept getting low. He got the Bloodthirst off and then would just continue dominating. And I know, don't focus the tank, but he was like Omega left and out from his team. He just knew how to play Garrosh extremely well. Excited for D&D tonight. Going to get some Chinese food before. I've been craving. Oh man, some good Chinese food would be amazing. Detroit style Chinese, which is just, it's American Chinese food. It's so good. That's a good toss from Garrosh onto the Uther, and there's going to be a safe toss onto Viper just to get the Brightwing into a better position. The Punisher jumps once again. Fort front gate will be going down, and I believe the fort will just take about 25% damage, as we do have Wise and Lullins in bottom lane once again. Was it, Ninja, was it you yesterday who was asking me about class and stuff for D&D that I play? Because I also realized I didn't really give, like, all, I kind of missed a couple things on what I had noted. But either way, almond boneless chicken Detroit style, all I'm gonna say about it, it's really, really, really good. I've tried to replicate it here, and it's not that. It's the gravy that makes it, oh, it's just so good. So good. Either way, so back into our solo lanes, we will be seeing the Hogger and the Dahaka still just kind of brawling out against each other. And while we're waiting for 10 talent here to come through, let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like as... Okay, I was waiting to see. I was like, maybe we have a fight in bottom? It doesn't look like anything will happen. I was interested. No, I can't remember who it was. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just the only difference is I think I said I was like mixed with Paladin Sorcerer. It's actually Shadow Sorcerer, which is like a fancier... Or it's like a sub thing that you can go into when you multi-class. It's very, very interesting. If you've never heard of it, definitely check out the Shadow Sorcerer. It's very interesting. Hey Harson, how you doing, bud? For anyone wondering, the Baja Ross coming up on April 24th. You love that subclass? Yeah, I never knew about it. Stark the DM. He basically introduced it to me, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, because he was like, oh, there's all these like sub things of Sorcerer, and I was like, ooh, and it plays really well into the essential like creepy paladin that I play. Anyways, we got our heroics and we got some pretzel dragon from the Hanzo, so we will be able to see the twin dragon summoned. I believe it's a 60-second cooldown. I might be wrong on that. Well, we're not going to be seeing it for the next 23 seconds because that is a Hanzo to fall. The Dragon Strike is 60-second cooldown. Nice gank in the rotation from the members of Smooth Brain Kamikaze. Baja is Holy Goblin Batman. That is actually a really good way to put it. Are you painting a version of the picture you shared on Twitter for the next Baja Ross? No. I've tried to do reference photo painting. I've done one Baja Ross that's based off of a reference photo with no help from Bob at all, because obviously he didn't see the photo. Anyways, it's not a bad painting, but I definitely think I have still a lot to learn before I try and do a reference photo. I want to do another reference photo painting one day, but I don't think my skill level is there just yet. But one day. Eventually he'll get Bandit in game. A Bandit should just be like an NPC that sells like really creepy artifacts. like a Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, but he's just like super nice and then super nice. Anyways, Hogger with the Hog Wild through the objective phase. That's a great gravity lapse onto Wise with the follow-up shockwave from Hogger, but a great heal from this Rhaegar with the Ancestor healing will come through, and no one really goes down. The objective phase going over to the side of Smooth Brain Kamikaze for now. Toss out. Dur is going to get hit with a scatter arrow. Divine Storm is just a little shy from Birdie as the blink heal from Viper does come through. Some scatters out from Hanzo. Top lane, really quickly, just looking. It looks like the Fallen... Yeah, this is Jacqueline Hyde trying to do their best to just split things up. Wise comes up to clear things out, knowing that the members of Tricky Gooses cannot get this objective. You nailed the bandit painting, Baha. That... Oh, that is true. That is true. I did do that one. I did cheat a little bit per se, and what I did was... I mean, it's not really a cheat. It's just it's a technique that you can use. Nice auto. I was actually waiting to see if Garrosh would be able to walk out alive right there. But the what I did was I actually took a projector and I projected the image on the canvas ahead of time, and then I just sketched out rough lines. Which is, I don't know. Some people look at it as cheating, some people look at it as a technique. However you want to look at it. Some people gatekeep and are assholes, some people are respectful, you know? Think that photo would make an amazing painting? Trust me, there's so many photos on my phone that would make amazing paintings. I take reference photos all the time of things around Tahoe because I'm like, one day I'll want to paint this. I have so many reference photos, you have no idea. Like, when I was looking to actually do the last painting, the reference photo painting, like, I had to narrow it down from like 30 photos I kept downloading. Still amazing. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. Great Gravity Lapse and Warlord's Challenge. Divine Storm dropped by the Uther as he does fall. Buys a window for the camp to be grabbed. Hanzo Dragon Strike coming through. A little bit of pretzel action over the camp. And Durr anchoring for the team. Able to just help this wave get walked in a little bit. Next objective is bottom, Mortar Punisher, so it makes sense why we see Smoothbrain Kamikaze trying to press the bottom lane in as much as they possibly can. Gravity Lapse combo, once again from Kael'thas. 27 stacks on that level 1 questing talent. The photo's awesome. Yeah, it's, when I take Bandit for a long walk, there's like a neighborhood that we go into. And that there's a really nice view from there, so last, I think that was from yesterday morning is when I took the photo. All right. Pressure through bottom added in. The members of Smoothbrain Kamikaze not looking too smoothbrain. They're looking quite like they have a lot of wrinkles in their brain with the rotations, the macro, the overall playstyle. It's 2-2 in kills. Little experience advantage to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. A fantastic shockwave on the stacked up Tricky Goose roster, but no actual kills to follow, unfortunately. And for anyone who wants to see any of the old Baharasas, they're all in the Discord channel, if you want to join the Discord. There is a Discord channel for just the Baharasas where I post the upcoming episode as well as the finished painting. So if you ever want to look at them, that's the easiest place. And 16s will be up on both sides in just a second here. Bottom lane fort will fall. You see Garrosh in that anchoring position once again. We talk about that often. It's really, really great. Garrosh isn't going to kill anyone, but he will slow down a rotation and provide vision to his teammates. And also, as we kind of say with the term, he's anchoring, making sure that there's nothing to really get past him. Thank you, Nancy. Mortar Punisher up and available in 20 seconds, and we have Siege Camp on the right to be grabbed. Junkrat Kael'thas. We do have the Fallen Shamans on their respective right and left side. Sometimes I wonder if Hogger's clear time for objective would actually be faster not spinning. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty effective. Wise steps in, gets the camp. Hanzo Dragon strikes through. Ancestor Healing will come out. No 20s yet. Polymorph onto Duck Warlord's Challenge. That's a double kill to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. There is still the double Fallen Shaman in top lane that will need to be dealt with. But Compute gets a heal from Rhaegar Uther. Tries to back away. Agility. And the crab is... The crab always got the... Does he have... Yeah, he's got fleet of foot. That's why. I was like, how is he moving so quickly all of a sudden unmounted? Now he's got that level 13. Junkrat might have just saved top lane. Oh, the Hellhound, the minion wave. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yeah, Junkrat will not be able to save that. Keep Front Gate is actually attacking the Fallen Shaman, so the RNG doesn't work out too well. I mean, I can see what you mean. Absolutely. I think if you have teammates around that are also grouping up some of the skeletal defenders for you, that also helps a ton. Like, Brightwing doing that right there actually helps a ton for Hogger. But I mean, the other thing too to consider in all of this is, like, you don't have to have your hands on the keyboard. You could be eating a sandwich. You could be finishing your turn in Hearthstone. Like, there's a lot of benefits to do this. There's a lot of benefits to do this. I mean, you could be drinking tea. You could probably get up and go to the bathroom and come back and be just done with the objective. Hands up, huge benefit. I mean, yeah, hands off the keyboard. This is hand-free gaming. Maybe one-handed gaming. Concussion Mine from the Junkrat. The siege from bottom lane will continue. Punisher jumping over. That's going to be a great bait from the Joanna. She does pop the Iron Skin, making sure that Punisher doesn't lock her down. Dur is going to be popping the Warlord's Challenge as they toss Wise away, who gets the Ancestor healing, but it feels like it overlapped a little bit with the essence of Dahaka. It might have been a little bit of a panic moment right there as Birdie takes a bit of damage. Living Bomb is applied. Dura very far forward, silenced by the isolation. Can't get that Bloodthirst out as they don't have the ability to hit any buttons. That's a Divine Storm. Dur getting very low. Somehow, some way, this Garrosh is living through the pain. Great healing coming out from Brightwing as well as just the own sustain of Dur's Garrosh. Bottom lane Punisher does go down a little more than 50% off the keep, and we will see a level lead to the side of Smooth Brain Kamikaze. So what are our camp timings? A minute to a minute and 20. We got this camp up soon, and that's really about it. All right, well, wave clear, looking for 20s, and then probably an aggressive team fight from the side of Smooth Brain Kamikaze. Today we're just casting a bunch of NGS games. Tomorrow I'll be casting some NGS games. I have a live best of 3 tomorrow night for you all. It'll be Gilly Shark at Bingo Night versus Tactical Feed. Gravity Lapse over the far side of the wall. As Kael'thas sits at 47 stacks, 15 minutes in. 16 or so, however you want to round up. That's really good stacking for a Kael'thas, I'm not gonna lie. That's really, really good stacking. Nian's doing a great job of just making sure that they are where the regeneration globes are. Love Bingo Night. Yeah, tomorrow night is Bingo Night. Oh, Viper taking a bit of damage. Yeah, that was that. Just hug the wall, Viper. Get away from the Pretzel Dragon. And the Gravity Lapse will connect onto Hanzo. He gets chunked for 50, but then healed up almost immediately by the Rhaegar chain heal. Dear Lord, words. Frozen Punisher mix, next for mid lane. Go Tactical Feed. Broom Boy is a Joanna one trick. Or one tick. Oh, okay. One tick, got it. It's impressive that a tick can play this game. They're very, very small. I don't know how they reach the keyboard and mouse. Must have one of those like MOBA mouses or something. Junkrat has those cannonballs from level 20 poking out to the enemy side. Also has the endless nades. So as long as Junkrat's hitting these nades on the enemies, he's got very good cooldown reduction. Hanzo did go the Dragon Awakens, so he's gonna just throw that out as much as he possibly can. Because I believe it's Stormbow and Sonic Arrow, or excuse me, Stormbow and Scatter Arrows, or basic attacks. Actually, it's basically anything but the Sonic Arrow. That'd be cool if you landed the Sonic Arrow with this talent, you got like a full CD or something. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, Divine Storm from the Uther. There's going to be another Dragon Strike from the Hanzo, this time whittling down that Garrosh. He will fall. Now, how will the members of Tricky Gooses play this? They have a small window of an advantage for the next 50-some seconds, and the next objective is up and available in mid lane. Really good at jumping. Oh, okay. I'm actually curious if there's any Nexus Division games that have gone uncasted. Maybe we can check out one of those today as well. I've only grabbed this game and one other game because I like the name of the teams. I think the next game we're gonna cast is Bull Moose Party versus Maximum Thrust because those names made me giggle when I saw them. Objective phase will be grabbed on the left-hand side by Tricky Goose. Lumi is going to be working on this with the rest of their team. And I think, yeah, I don't think, yeah, with Garrosh still dead for 7 seconds, Dahaka clears out the top lane. Hogger's pressing up the bottom, and there's only the fort down, so you have the periodic catapult pressure, which, out of curiosity, where's that catapult pressure dealing? Wow, 708 damage into structures. Let's focus in on the objective phase, though, because that is up and available, 410 damage into structures, as we see this Frozen Punisher, one of the most effective Punishers in the game, when it comes to just siege potential, because it does lock down the tower for a few seconds, I believe 3 seconds in total. Hanzo rips another arrow. Keep an eye on that cooldown, as he will be landing those auto Stormbows, Scatters, and Oh, no, I overlapped everything. I thought I'd said 2 out of 3. Anyways, mid lane fort will fall. Punisher steps up. Doesn't look like the members of Tricky Gooses will. And they back off with the fort down. Actually, no. They jump over the wall and grab a camp from mid lane. Maybe we can get Tactical Feed to play Bingo with us versus the last game, regular season. We're both locked in. Oh, that would be awesome! That would be really, really fun if both teams played Bingo. Like, we had a Bingo card for each team. That'd be really, really fun. But obviously, I can understand if a team doesn't want to do that and they just want to play the game and, you know, they want to play serious. I mean, I guess serious is kind of a rude statement. Because Gilly Shark at Bingo Night, they play serious, but they have the Bingo Lords tell them what to do. Here comes the step in through the bottom lane, trying to put pressure onto the fort. Another arrow from Hanzo, Dragon Strike, zoning back Viper and Nyan. 54 stacks on that. Wow! I think the Blessed Shield was sidestep either way. Soothing Mist does come out. There's going to be a Phoenix out from the Kael'thas, the actual Phoenix that does something in Heroes the Storm. Nice shock wave from the Hogger. It's also going to be a staggering blow. Dahaka goes down, stun from Uther. Birdie trying to back away. Concussion Mine puts them back in a bad spot. Hogger does go down. Uther doesn't have the level 20 redemption. He went into the talent we actually don't see very often. Divine Protection, but here, very low, but this is that Garrosh value. He's got that armor, and he's also got that Bloodthirst healing that he's been utilizing so very well throughout this game. Okay. So, with a double kill, only losing their Hogger, Smooth Brain Kamikaze used the phase shift from Viper, give that healing over to the Garrosh. It's been actually quite a little bit of time since we looked at some of the other stats. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage, healing, and experience as Johanna presses up a wave through top lane. Catapults in this top lane really quickly. While we're just looking at stats in general, 754 damage into structures. Junkrat Concussion. Oh, Concussion Mine doesn't split the catapult like he was expecting. It does get 1 or 2 more autos onto the structure. But let's go ahead and take a look at bottom lane. Next objective is bottom. And if the members of Smooth Brain Kamikaze can grab this, it's going to be stepping up into an open keep through bottom. Dahaka, that's a slow on Nyan. There's a drag that doesn't connect. The Indomitable is used, I think, or maybe a Soothing Mist. Either way, it doesn't matter. Hanzo is going to have 30 seconds on that 60-second cooldown already. And keep your eyes on that cooldown because it's already dropping down to 24. And he scatters, and he scatters. Rhaegar goes in for the bite on the button. Will find it. Kael'thas falling. There's an Earth Grasp Totem. Compute chasing in, but it doesn't seem like they continue the chase as Kael'thas is dead for the next 55 seconds. And that is not good timing for Smooth Brain Kamikaze. Since Kael'thas is dead for the next 44, objective is up in 20, Duck and the members of Tricky Gooses have a window to grab this objective phase. And Dahaka just doing split soaking once again. This is going to be that same thing I mentioned for the bottom lane, but on the opposite side. Since the fort's already down, and there's no counter fort on the opposing side down, or there's no fort on the left-hand side down, we got that periodic catapult pressure not being matched, so that top lane getting pushed up by Dahaka helps a ton. He's actually going to go up and catch 1 more wave, and also looks like he's going to clear out the Fallen Shaman. Uther's sitting in the bush, anchoring for the team, avoids some just damage. Just nice little sidestepping right there, just trying to avoid taking any damage to mitigate any sort of necessary healing or any sort of cooldown reduction for healing. Durin top lane threatening onto Dahaka. We also have the Hogger coming up here, but between the two of them, not sure if there's enough damage to really get the kill onto Dahaka. So he's going to tap well. He's going to step back in. He might be looking for the drag on... Oh, no, he's looking for the spray. All right. I think he was looking for the drag onto the Fallen Shaman to pull it in range of the fort. Jacqueline Hyde coming up here as well. This is a big investment into top lane from Smooth Brain Kamikaze. Feel like they need to be focusing onto bottom. Because you got this Dahaka who can easily brush stock into bottom lane, and yes, it is off cooldown. You assume that Blessed Shield was going to hit, so I wasted my cleanse. That was a really good sidestep. I thought I had a delay on the stream or something like that for how long it, like, the time between when that happened and when you said something, I was like, is there a delay on my stream? Did I forget to turn it off or something? And it wouldn't make sense because I didn't have delay yesterday. Anyways. 23 minutes in, Punisher working on the bottom lane keep. There's going to be Dur taking quite a bit of damage. The face shift from Viper coming through. Junkrat has his level 7 triggered right there. That dirty trickster. There's going to be a divine storm from the Uther. Kael'thas will fall. A stun from the Uther right as Hogger gets out of the Hog Wild. The blink heal from Viper as the Punisher takes down the keep. Viper doing a great job healing up their team. Indomitable will be popped. So is going to be the well-tapped. Viper blinking around. Junkrat going to get jumped on by the Punisher. Almost gets killed as Jacqueline is able to get the concussion mine into the Hall of Storms. The Punisher will fall. Kael'thas dead for 41 seconds. Mid lane keep does go down. Is this the end? Will Tricky Gooses take map number 1? The shielding has fallen. Core is dropping in HP. Concussion mine from the Junkrat is going to be displacing Wise a little bit. Isolation with the contagion value from level 20. Spreading onto 2. Viper again with the phase shift, but now the... Oh, I was going to say Duck goes in for the kill, but can't find it. 5 seconds on the Blessed Shield. There's going to be another arrow from Hanzo. Lolin's right inside of that arrow, right in the center point, too, which deals the most amount of damage. Blessed Shield immediately ripped. There's going to be slows from the Joanna with the Subdue. Excuse me, with her Punish. Didn't go for the Subdue. And slowly but surely, the core will fall. Map number 1 goes over the side of Tricky Gooses. GG. Well played. Stream elements, alerts, hello?
You could give the best hugs.
There we go.
Whoa, 1 whole year.
Snargles, thank you for the tier 1 for 1 whole frickin' year. Thank you, Snargles. No delay. Oh, you're at work, so okay, thank you. Alright, let's pay out the people. Choose outcome. How many level 1 stacks should Kael'thas at end? 50 or more, because he's got 59. The believers get paid out. The believers get paid out. Someone put 420 in, very nice.
Smoke weed every day.
Can I ask a potentially stupid question? Yeah, go for it. There's really no bad questions here, per se. I mean... hey ISO, hey Darth, what's up, buds? Hey everybody. Sorry to get back to you, Darth. It's just my weeks right now are just a little crazy. Sorry. I am like usually when I'm done streaming, I am off my PC, and I'm barely on my phone. Like I try my best not to be on my phone. Don't trip at all, dude. But I'm sitting. I'm so fucking clever. No, you're a good dude, Darth. Thanks for checking in, though. All right. You get it? Because I'm sitting and yeah. Anyways, all right. If the PC I bought has a sound card, do I need to get speakers too? It depends. I mean, do you want to? It depends on where you want your audio to come from. Do you wanna just have headphones? Because then you can just plug headphones into the back of your PC. You could buy speakers and you can plug those into the back of your PC. The sound card does not produce sound from your computer. You will have to have some sort of audio device, whether it be headphones or speakers. Just pop in to say hi and lurk while my ARAM to start. Well, good luck in your ARAMs and thanks for the lurk, ISO. Grown. There isn't much to show yet, but I'd rather have time to actually chat about. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'd love to sit down and look at it. It's just finding time. I definitely will find some time though. Some sound cards have built-in tweeter speakers, but yeah, exactly. I wouldn't rely on my motherboard has 5.1 on it, so I could buy a 5.1 surround sound system and I could plug it into my computer. I don't need a sound card for it. I'll just connect my Bluetooth speakers from now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just make sure that your motherboard, I mean, it's a modern day computer. Like, I'd say most modern computers have built into their motherboards Bluetooth. Like mine does. Like this PC has Bluetooth built into it, and the motherboard is probably 2 years old. Like I think I built the PC about a year ago, but I think the motherboard came out 2 years ago. Computer's a 7. Yeah, so you could buy because if you have a 7.1, you have all the individual jacks for that. So like Like mine has, I think mine's either 5.1 or 7.1. I honestly don't remember, but I have a mixer that I plug into my mixer, and that's how I use my microphone because I'm XLR. So I have a Mackie mixer that's plugged into my PC, and that's my audio thing. So I hope that answered your question. Raz, actually, I literally just thought about the fact that you're getting your new computer, so I was curious as to if you had any updates on when it was going to show up. All right, the players did not swap sides. Let's go ahead and update our team scores as Tricky Gooses are up in the series. We got a fun map number 2 here. Everyone click on original. Not shipped yet, hoping next week. Okay, yeah, keep us in the loop. I'm really curious to hear about it and see maybe some photos when you get it. All right, let me check something really quick and let's see if we can get a fun little questing talent sort of. There's really no good level 1, so let's do this. Let's grab the team. Let's actually just do this. Start prediction. Which team gets level 10 first? TG or SBK? All right. We're going to do which team gets to level 10 first. Chat, if I miss it, if I get distracted by food conversations or something else, please keep your eyes on that. But my new job shipped me a MacBook this morning, so I'll get that soon. Dude, nice! You'll have your a nice work PC or a nice work Mac, and then you'll have your PC for gaming. That'll be nice. All right, let's get into a game. Let's introduce the teams, and then we'll start a prediction for which team gets level 10. Can you vote? I don't think there's anything stopping you. Welcome in to Dragonshire, map number 2 in our first best of 3 of the day. On the left-hand side, we have Tricky Gooses. We've got Duck on the Orc, Lumi on the Stukov, Computex on the Hanzo, Wise on the Sonya, Birdie on the Deathwing. Over on the side of SBK, or Smooth Brain Kamikaze, we have got Viper on the Anduin, Lullins on the Joanna, Dur on the Mephisto, Nyan on the Chen, and Jacqueline Hyde on the Zagara. Some role swapping, as we do see right here, but let's go ahead and get that prediction going. Which team hits level 10 first? Get your gambles in. You got 2 minutes, and let's introduce these teams, or excuse me, let's introduce this first team fight of the game.
3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Oh, man. Man, once again, as always, shout out to Nancy for the gigantic mug that she sent me. It's on days like this where I did not sleep much, it is so great to have a mug that is like 3 cups of tea in one. Motherboard does have Bluetooth, so I use yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can just connect the Bluetooth to your PC and just do it that way. That works fine, yeah. Easy all in, let's go, which means I'm wrong. Oh, Starkey. Oh, you're too great. Wise is going to be up in this top lane, doing their best to slam jam through all of this wave. We have the Chen to match her. Chen going to be going into the Eye of the Tiger at level 1. I feel like we don't see this very often. Basic attacks against brew-soaked enemy heroes deal 40% more damage and heal Chen for 40% of the damage done. Doesn't look like Chen's winning out in that 1v1 with that level 1 talent. Sonya is getting low, but not really threatened per se. So we do have some Zagara creep spread around the map thus far. Really liking really like just kind of the vision provided on the aggressive side. Hanzo going to use a Sonic Arrow just to scout out that other one in the rotation back to mid. I compliment Zagara's creep and then immediately gets cleared out very quickly. Hey, Raka, what's up, friend? Yes, Bandit is the best boy, aren't you? Aren't you? Oh, he's passed out hard. Maybe that's why he wasn't into the dental treat earlier. Maybe he was just tired. Maybe we'll try later on in the stream. Maybe later on in the stream he'll be hungry. Fight breaks out around the Siege Giant camp on the right-hand side. A very low Hanzo trying to back away with some 80 HP. We do have Mephisto stepping in here as well, getting some decent damage out. Trying to get, ooh, that's a lot of damage from the Deathwing. As actually it's Lullins on the Joanna needs to back away. Duck sticks around long enough and is able to grab the camp. Tricky Goose is putting a lot of pressure here on Dragonshire on map number 2. Chen just slowing down Wise in the rotation. Also that level 1 coming through. Oh no, that's a spear that might have been Wise's death. No, the regeneration globe's enough. We also have the accumulating flame, increase ignited basic attack. Increase ignited basic dear lord. Damage by 20%. Basic attacks against enemy heroes who are ignited increase the duration by 0.75, which is very synergistic with Eye of the Tiger. Man, I apparently do not know how to talk today. I should go fishing tomorrow. You have a feeling the river will be stocked? All right, Darth Looper, I'll have to do that. Tomorrow we will be doing a live best of 3 Ghillie Shark at Bingo Night versus Tactical Feed. That's at 6 o'clock PDT. So we'll go live at our normal time of 3 o'clock, and then we'll cast a couple warm-up games, and then we'll get into that one. I probably should be able to do 2 best of 3s before we get into the live best of 3. So we should be able to do at least 3 best of 3s tomorrow. That is the game plan. Agility over the wall. Ooh, that was a really close one. Yeah, Ghillie Shark at Bingo Night tomorrow. Hey, Thundercats. Good to see you, bud. Ooh, that's a really good condemn. That's a lot of damage. Oh, no, Joanna. See, if Zealous Glare wasn't nerfed from 125 to 75, that would have been a dead Hanzo. 100%. 200%. 125%. Hey, Baha, how goes it? It goes very well. It goes very well. We're casting some games. We're just checking out. Oh, was this too greedy? This was too greedy. No way. The Eye of the elusive brawler. It wasn't too greedy. It was perfectly calculated. Perfectly calculated by Chen with the level 7 elusive brawler. Oh, and that's a dead John on bottom. How's my favorite streamer doing? And by that, of course, I mean Bandit. Oh, I knew exactly who you were talking about. Bandit is doing great. He got a walk today, ate some food. We'll go for another walk after stream later today. And I'll get some dinner. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day. Fat Illidan strikes again. But yeah, we were. I was talking about maybe for one of the future series today, if there's any uncasted Nexus Division games to check those out. I don't feel like there's many missed Nexus Division games. I feel like a lot of them have been casted. Oh, and Chen is kind of dominating the top lane up against Sonya. This is starting to really get difficult for her. Even with Sonya scaling with the Poison Spear and everything, and even increased slam damage and stuff like that, it's just not enough to go up against this Chen. We have a pretty big rotation in the top lane from Tricky Gooses. Unfortunately, the slow does not connect. I think Chen was unsure of whether he needed to Hearth or not. That's why we saw like two little backs right there. No one would ever beast up in Nexus Gaming Series. No one would ever beast up. Alright. Joanna to go down. Oh! Bottom lane Anduin. Viper's able to get on the point in time, and that is going to be no Dragonite just yet. 10 talents here might be coming through first to the side of Tricky Gooses. I did not forget the bet this time. Hanzo get, unless they just massively feed on the side of Tricky Gooses.
Hero slain.
Mephisto goes down, and that is 10 talents here over to the side of Tricky Gooses. Let me pay out the people really quickly before I forget. Yes, Tricky Gooses, TG, they have the level 10 first. The last team to beast up us learn better. Ooh, Harkin. Did you just clap him? I wasn't wrong. I'm being set up for a greater betting failures in the stream. Entomb from Leoric that does catch the Joanna who goes for the Condemned. That is a huge Durance of Hate as well as a Devouring Maw onto Lumi. Compute is so very low, gets the Healing Pathogen from the Stukov, and I cannot believe it. The Hanzo is still alive. He rips a Dragon Strike. It does split Viper away from his team, but I don't think Viper's in a bad spot by any means. Able to kind of back away, still with the gate nearby. The game after, they beast up, we went 27-6 in kills. Stop it, you're murdering him! Or wait, what is it? He's already dead, stop! Deathwing will drop down into bottom lane. We still have, I believe we're still waiting for our first objective of the game. Jacqueline Hyde does get onto the point. We have actually the Zagara stepping back into the fight. Wise trying to get over here as well onto the point. There's an Entomb onto Viper, but Duck isn't really going to get any sort of good setup from that. It's Anduin who's going to try and chastise this Leoric. There's a Durance of Hate. Chen is going to try and stagger through all that pain, but he can't. The Panda Pals were not popped. Deathwing trying to burninate the enemy team. The objective phase is up and available. Will someone sneak away for it? Duck is very low. It seems very, very doable now that there is this double kill in favor for the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. And it looks like Mephisto is the one to run to mid. Wise is going to try and kill Jacqueline, but I don't think it's going to work out. Birdie steps into the bush, not on the point. Wise very low. The heal, not enough.
Hero slain.
All right, Dragonite to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. What do they do with it? Good angle. This is something I've been trying to do in my own games. This is very good angling. Look at the Dragonite. The Dragonite was positioning on the upper portion of the wave so that only one tower was hitting the Dragonite. If you sit in the middle right here and you're just hitting the gate, you're hitting one of these towers, you're getting hit by both cannons, which you have a lot of HP, but you can min-max that HP a little bit by playing. Obviously it does, I think, siege a little bit slower because I think the Dragonite has a little bit of cleaving value to it, but still, I think that's just a better way to make sure that you can mid-max the amount of HP you get with the Dragonite. Once again, a really good Entomb. There's the follow-up. Holy Word Salvation is going to be the pickup from Anduin. We didn't talk about that level 10, but great utilization from Viper. Devouring Maw comes through, only catching the minion wave, it looks like, as this is Leoric. Wraith walking away. No 13 talent here. Excuse me, no reduction in damage talent here, the ominous Wraith. Durance of Hate goes out. It will connect onto the Stukov, and that is going to be another kill to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. Wise gets the camp before any sort of invade happens. Stream tagged for hairstyling. Bandit must look fabulous. He does. People come into my stream all the time and ask me for hairstyling tips. It's true, John. Ask anyone in chat. People have come in here and asked me for hairstyling tips, beard styling tips. You know, I gotta add the tag in there. It is my most searched Twitch stream tag, in the sense of most of my viewers who click through tags come from that tag. Hey Autumn, what's up? Hey Baha in chat, when you say Dragonite, it sounds like Dragonite, which sounds like a mineral. Maybe I am. No, it's Pokemon. Another Dragon Knight coming out. Oh god. Entomb does block Viper from stepping in, but it expires right there. Devouring Maw onto 2. Duck backing away. Durance of Hate. Beautifully timed with the Devouring Maw. The Joanna will fall. Leoric is going to try and Wraith walk away. Wise comes in for the flank. Doesn't have any sort of leap available for the next 20-some seconds. Chastise onto Leoric. He doesn't have Wraith walk available because he just used it, as the Dragonite is up and available. I have similar hair to yours, waiting for the game to end to get with the styling tips. See, there it is. Boom. Food is the secret content, no tag needed. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is very true. I mean, we already got off topic in the first game of the day talking about Chinese food. We've literally already been on the topic of food, and we have just past an hour of stream time. 16 to 15 in levels in favor for Tricky Gooses, as there's the Storm, Earth, and Fire from Chen. I was about to say, if Chen loses all 3 Panda Pals, he does die. It looks like 1 will survive, and that's Chen back into his main form. I like my chat just turning into Pokemon Evolution chat. One could say my chat is evolving. Held message for reason, aggression. This message was held for aggression. Sonya slam, is there a leap? There it is. That should be enough damage over time. Chen actually, no, Chen's gonna drink through the pain. Chen's fine. Chen taps well. And in bottom lane, it's a double kill to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. Dur looking to step further forward. Lolin's low on this Joanna. Needs to play it safe as the Dragonite, excuse me, as Deathwing takes flight. Your monitors have shipped? Nice. Alrighty, so Dur with the dragon. Let's see what this Dragon Knight does through the mid lane. I'm also really curious stat-wise what this bad boy's doing. 657 into structures. Alrighty, so some siege through mid, as this is a little... It's a valuable lane. Top lane, I don't think is as valuable. Oh my god, that's going to be the Dragon Knight already going down, and Entomb from Leoric, but that doesn't really matter for the Mephisto, as we do have Zagara finding that kill. Wise, oh wait, actually hold, Durns of Hate spreading to so many members as Deathwing is standing still. Holy Word Salvation will be utilized by the Anduin. Zagara finding a second kill in all of this. Dur does have that level 16 for the percent base damage off of the static field. That's gonna be a great way to get just shred onto Birdie, and there you go, you see the Deathwing falling to the Mephisto. Boomy, the only one left. Dur is looking to step forward. Is there a Shade of Mephisto? No, doesn't look like it will be utilized. Wells tapped. Zagara pushing up bottom, and Siege Giants to be grabbed for the lane as well. Hey, Ghostly, what's up, bud? Oh, and Chen goes down. My apologies. I looked over at chat for a second. Like a Mighty Python, the whole Edgar Allan will never be confused again. Oh, of course, yes. Oh, jeez. Okay. Bottom lane siege continuing. 4 seconds on Hanzo, 6 on the Deathwing. Is that Universal? No, it's Super Strain. Yeah. I always mix up Universal Carrier and Super Strain because I think it's still green in the center, but it's like more pinkish purple or something like that for the Universal Carrier.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The shrines will soon be active.
Also, I have a smudge on my glasses, and every time I go to drink my tea, I think something's in my tea. Okay, 20 talent tier, soon to be here for Smoothbrain Kamikaze. Map number 2 in our first best of 3 of the day. 9 to 13 in kills, and this is camp to be grabbed for top, camp to be grabbed for bottom traded. But the big thing is that 20 talent tier that goes over to our red team. The assumption is that Smoothbrain Kamikaze goes in for a fight. They have to look for a fight here. Okay, Hanzo Zero buys a little bit of time, but Viper just kind of sidesteps it, goes back onto the point. Bottom lane camp being worked on right now. Leoric Wraith walking away, as I mentioned, doesn't have any of the Wraith walking talents at level 13-16 for the Ominous Wraith or Royal Focus. Chen goes in deep. There's a Bellowing Roar as well. The Blessed Shield does... Man, Stukov just got absolutely annihilated. Poor Stukov. Poor Stukov got Durns of Hated and then Blessed as well. Kind of had the whole Diablo trifecta in a sense, but oh, Chen kicks in, looking to see if they continue to put pressure. Oh man, Conflagration. Yeah, that Conflagration shredding through the Storm Earth and Fire, and Niam backs away with one of the Panda Pals still available. Duck is very low, a lot of good damage is available, and is able to Wraith walk away with just a couple hundred HP. Bottom lane keep still taking quite a bit of damage. The members of Smoothbrain Kamikaze looking like they're going to make some good plays here, at least opening up the map for themselves. And that's Sonya sneaking up into the top lane. Deathwing is low, but that's a Mephisto to be traded. Okay. Sonya's up in top, but that still isn't really a concern to Smoothbrain Kamikaze. I think they still come out on top of this. The Stukov just now respawning. Sonya's going to push up top lane. We could see... I think Zagara's going to try and slow down their rotation into bottom, so there's a potential Dragonite available. I think that's what Jacqueline Hyde is kind of doing with their positioning. Because I think Leoric wants to just rush to bottom to get the counter point, the Moonshrine. And actually, Zagara is going to go ahead and back away. And no quick rotation to bottom. Okay, so this is going to be objective. Ah, no, Wise is in mid lane. I don't think Lolens can get this, and there's the Leoric into bottom. Hey, we got Hell in the Cell right there. Sonya did go into Crater at level 20. Zagara drops the Devouring Maw. There's a Lurking Arm underneath all of that, which did help out as well with that low blow. Flailing swipes from Stukov won't connect. We actually have the level 20 for Stukov as the top off. Sonya does go down. Chen, no Storm Earth and Fire for the next 17 seconds, but it doesn't matter because he was buried alive. Tricky Gooses building back the momentum here. It seemed like it was all to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze, but the momentum has shifted quite drastically in favor for the side of Tricky Gooses. So let's see what happens here, because this might be a Tricky Goose Dragon Knight. Ooh, is the dragon gonna get in the dragon? Tell me the dragon gets in. Oh, come on. Also, we have Viper in bottom lane grabbing this, so there's no dragon available. Either way, invade onto the camp. Even with 2 still dead, Joanna steps on the point. Dur is very low, drops the Durance of Hate. Conflagration getting some procs right there. I actually can't believe that that camp invade worked out. Granted, Leoric is showing in top, so they knew it was a straight-up 3v3 since Sonya's still dead. Okay. I gotta say, that's a really good read from Smoothbrain Kamikaze. I think a lot of teams would have just said, let's just turtle up and soak and play safe. I like that aggression. I like the camp steal. Really, really good play from the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. Leoric going into bottom lane, Zagara to go to top. She'll clear out the way first. She's actually trying not to show on the map. She will just throw down those roach slings. And we do have the objective up and available. Zagara to throw down some creep. Level 20, she did go Pack Instinct. 2 votes for Dragon. Nesting Dolls, I agree. Slam into bottom. Stukov starting to spread that healing pathogen around. Good Lurking Arm. There's a wonderful leap in from Sonya. A double kill, though, goes the Oh, no. She sets up the double kill. Sorry, I completely misread how that kill went. Either way, it's a triple kill. Wise is going to try and back away. Gets the healing pathogen. I can't believe that Tricky Goose has just made that insane play. Leoric, Wraith walking forward. We do have the slows applied. Does he have the... Yeah. Oh, ouch. Deathwing. So that's a...
Pentakill.
And a dragon over to the side of Tricky Gooses. But they have got so much to go through structurally. Even though there's a lot of death timers, they still have a long way to damage to go to core. So I don't think this ends, but I definitely think this takes down a keep. Can they sidewall keep and core? I don't think so. I don't think they have enough time. They're gonna try though. And I was gonna say, if they could position the Dragonite about here-ish, yeah, there you go. So you're not taking tower shots from right there. Joanna and Chen, they're up soon. I don't know about this. I feel like instead of going for bottom for it, I think they should have all 5 pushed on the side of Tricky Gooses. I think it should have been just either everyone mid or everyone bottom. Like I think you really they needed to not go for opening the map, but I think they should have gone for the throat essentially. Because they took down they took down 2 keeps and 2 forts by the time that everyone, or about by the time everyone respawned on the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. That's just my thoughts on it. But hey, they could take a big fight and that could be the end of it right here. Let's find out. That's a great entomb on the Joanna. Leap of Faith will save Lolens. Viper getting pressured by the dragon. We have Stukov actually going down. Birdie very low. Cataclysm's away. That's going to be Chen on the Deathwing on the bottom of our screen. We do have that leap in from Sonya. There's a Devouring Maw from the Zagara. Things are falling apart on the side of Tricky Gooses. They may have gotten a lot of structural value, but they might have just lost. They can certainly make the situation where Smoothbrain Kamikaze have to make a defensive play. A mistake could result in a core, but they're making this play instead. I personally think it would have been everyone mid, everyone bottom, focus a lane, and I think it could have been game over for Tricky Gooses. But you know, that's for us to ponder and pontificate on, as the Leoric will drop the Buried Alive. He's going to be able to Wraith walk away with a little bit of HP. Core shielding has already fallen. Durance of Fate will be coming out. Dur getting very low from the Hanzo. Has to watch out for the stuns from the core as the Chastise will go out. Dur is going to use the mimicry to get some extra damage. There's going to be that stun. Hanzo finds the snipe. Is this the throw? Viper has got some healing out. Chen so very low. Lawlins, Jacqueline, I think they've got enough damage with that cigar as she's dropping down all the banelings, all the roachlings. And it was actually kind of close at the end, but it is going to be the members of Smoothbrain Kamikaze taking us to a map number 3. This is a fun series. This is a fun series, chat. I'm liking this series. Okay, sorry. Just checking messages. 20 kills to 20 kills is what we're here for. That's really true. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get into map 3. A good series. A really good. I'm glad we started on this one for real. This is definitely a fun one. So let's go ahead. Ooh, we're heading to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's get this. Let's get everything loaded up, and then we'll find out what little fun prediction can we do. Oh, I see a Nazebo. I see a Nazebo. Okay. Hey, Melville, what's up, bud? How are you doing today? Ugh. They should mod Heroes of the Storm to have the spiders look like the spider lady thingies from Dark Souls. That's what they should do. The booby spider ladies from Dark Souls. That's what we should do. By the way, we did hit the crowd control sub goal. So we are going to do, I think we're going to do crowd control Dark Souls. I think that's what we're going to do. Much better than yesterday, and you? I'm glad to hear you're doing better than yesterday. I'm doing all right. I had a really productive morning, and I didn't sleep much, but I had a productive morning, so there's that at least. Man, he is out cold. Did I hear crowd control Dark Souls? You did. You did. I think that's what we're gonna do. Because I don't think I can do Star Fox 64. I could probably get an emulator or something like that. I could probably do Mega Man X, but I feel like we'd have the most fun with Dark Souls. Like I feel like doing a new game plus in Dark Souls and doing like how fast can I go through different areas with crowd control. There's also areas we didn't explore. There's like the Forest of Ulysse. We didn't explore any of that. Like, we did the Guardian fight, and then that was it. There's a whole other area that we haven't even touched. So, I think there was more Painted World, so... Don't save at a maxed out New Game Plus? What do you mean? 9 is a great Chen? Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. Oh, Bandit, what's up, bud? Okay, let me get the Twitch prediction going here. Okay, start prediction. So I'm curious what Harson has to say. Also, I need to check this. My friend, I had a friend that streamed that, and it was in the middle of Gaping Dragon fight on a new game +8. I think it's like the highest. Due to crowd control redemption, can't use that save file anymore because the boss is way overpowered for him. Oh, really? Huh. To be honest, I really didn't have a plan to utilize my Dark Souls. Like, I didn't plan to do anything else with that Dark Souls save file, so I kind of don't really care what happens to it. Like, I beat the game. If maybe one day in the far future, I'll go back and play Dark Souls like over again or something like that. But I don't mind if the file gets corrupted or messed up. I do appreciate you looking at it. I do appreciate that. But yeah, I really didn't even plan to come back to this file until I found out that there is crowd control for Dark Souls, and I was like, well, that could be fun. Like, I kind of know some of the stuff. We're kind of powered up, so we can kind of go a little fast. Yeah, I appreciate it, Harson. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into our map number 3. Final map in this best of 3, and we're going to find out who is going to take this series, but of course, we'll have a Twitch prediction for this game just as we introduce the team. So let's go ahead and get into the game, hit our buttons, and let's find out here, as we do have on the left-hand side, Tricky Gooses. We got Duck on the ETC, Lumi on the Anduin, ComputeX on the Titus, Wise on the York, and Birdie on the Gul'dan. Over on the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze, we've got Lolans on the Anubrek, Viper on the Brightwing, Nyan on the Rexar, Jacqueline Hyde on the Nazebo, Dur on the Mephisto, and Misha to play Misha. As always, when we got a Nazebo game, not always, but when we have a Nazebo game, we like to do a Nazebo bet. So, it does not matter what Nazebo takes at level 20. What matters is how many Voodoo Ritual stacks by the end of the game. Will he have 175 or more, or 174 or less? Get your gambles in. Get your gambas, get your big old gambas in. As we will, we'll actually see Pursuit of Flame at level 1 for the Gul'dan. Just getting a little extra zoom out here so we can see just the entire fight and who's going to be rotating out. Actually, Y is going to get back into the engagement. Look for a big skeletal swing here onto Jacqueline Hyde. This Leoric wants to kill Nazebo, but Nazebo's able to back away with 222 HP and no kills to be had. I will mention this, though. The Gul'dan already picking up 11 stacks out of 40. Or 30, excuse me. So he's a third of the way and then some through this level 1 questing talent. Wise in the bottom lane, draining the hope of the enemies. And he's not going to be really threatened whatsoever, that Leoric. As Viper is a little low in top, gives themselves some spell shield. Oh no, Dur. I don't know if Dur is going to make it out of this one alive. And that's first blood over to the side of Tricky Gooses. No doubters. No doubters for this bet, apparently. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm just looking at stacks and stuff like that. Nazebo did go Things of the Deep, which does allow him to have the 20% range increase as well, which is great for that zombie wall setup or any sort of follow-up to the Anubrek, or even setup for Anubrek. Spiders also can chase, toads or whatever, but the spider range is really, really good for poking at people in the backline consistently as well. We'll see what Nazebo goes into. Does he go toads? Does he go spiders? Is he going to be a little bit more trait or hybrid or like zombie wall build? Duck is going to get caught in the rotation by said zombie wall. Little face melt does knock back the little zombies. Leoric in mid. Wise, one auto attack. Nice sidestep. Polymorph. Anubrek goes in, now focusing onto the Tychus. Man, that sidestep from Y is really, really well done. That was extremely, that was a really good sidestep. I was not expecting that. Okay, so is there a contest over this camp? Tychus already just kicked. I like this. Just Misha and Tychus start racing against each other to clear out the camp. But a fight will break out down here. At least it seems like there will be a fight breaking out down here. Power slide from ETC. Dur is going to be the target. Nice Anubrek burrow charge. The camp is going to be leashed. The polymorph on to compute. Gets the little leap of faith. Pursuit of Flame already done by the Gul'dan. 2 minutes and 46 seconds in. That's really, really good for him. It doesn't, I don't think it gives a damage increase. It's mostly just you increase the size of the Fel Flame. That's a lot of damage onto the Tychus from Dur, who had that Lightning Nova just sitting on top of Tychus, shredding through. Just gonna check really quickly. Yeah, you just increase the radius by 10%. Gives you a lot of wave clear. It's actually a really, really good talent, but typically overshadowed by the Echo Corruption at level 1 because of just how much late game damage you can have from Gul'dan. Turn-in availability does exist. Y is going to get 16 gems in. 17 left to get turned in total. We got 15 between Birdie and Compute, and Lumi, I think, has the last couple necessary. There it is. Actually, only 2 necessary for that, but there's a power slide into the backline. Chastise will come out as well. A lot of damage onto Tychus, who's getting split from his team. ETC doing their best to peel, but the peel is through. And it's going to be a little bit of a split in favor of Smoothbrain Kamikaze, who now have enough for a turn-in. Everyone's got to focus on this turn-in. I think everyone is focusing. Okay. Just waiting like patiently to see who gets first turn-in of the game. Nazebo already at 60 stacks. Believers feeling good. But as I always say about Team of Spider Queen, this map either goes very long or very short. And we'll see what happens. We'll see how this game goes. Honestly, this map always feels like it's either 2 minutes, or excuse me, like 12 minutes, or like 25 minutes or something crazy. Red Web Weavers will descend in favor for the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. And waves are, well, I'd say they're pretty equal. I mean, they're a little bit further back in bottom lane, but want to peek into mid lane because there's a polymorph, there's a crab Tychus, and he is going to go down to Mephisto. That's a really good pickup kill for the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze, as they have a huge wave through mid. Anubrak went into the Hardened Carapace, so he doesn't have as many beetles. He's not the Beetle Boy, Beetleborg that we typically go for. But ever since the Hardened Carapace was buffed, seems like, or at least the level 1, and I think there was some other, I think, oh my god, I can never say it. The plating talent, there you go. Anyways, I think this level 7 was buffed as well. Might be incorrect on that one either way. Exclamation point patch in chat if you'd like to find out what the actual answer is. Should get you a link over to the patch that did come out last week. Wise is actually, yeah, I was gonna say, Wise is in a scary spot right there. Turn-in availability very much in favor for the side of Tricky Gooses. We still have a lot of gems, like 31 gems to be picked up on the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze before they can even look for a turn-in. And with 10 Talentiers looming, let's go ahead, as always, and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like. We haven't had a chance to look at those just yet in this map number 3 between these two teams. You got this. I don't have it. I don't have it, Thundercats. I don't. Man, the English language is bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. Because my brain wants to say, like, shittiness. Because that is what the phonetics in my brain want to say. Apparently it's chitinous. Chitinous. I hate the English language. It's bullshit. They just make up rules whenever they feel like it. 10's up on both sides. We do have that Horrify from Gul'dan going to be pulling out the Mephisto. There's a double mosh, actually. The Brightwing model was covered by the Anubrak. ETC gets the leap in time. The fort will fall. There's a burrow in from Lawlins as well. Ghost, big slappy ghost coming through, but it's Mephisto to actually get that kill onto the ETC, as there is a Cocoon Dur at like 90 HP on a sliver per se, as Compute is able to back away. Like chemistry? Dude, the English language is bullshit, alright? I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. The English language is bullshit. I remember getting in an argument with one of my teachers for the newspaper thing that I did in high school, that if you're like listing a group of things, like, and you're using commas, like you say like Tychus, comma, Leoric, comma, Anduin, comma, and then like, and Gul'dan, They would always say, like, the guy said to me that you don't need the comma before the and because the and acts as the comma. But every English teacher I had was like, no, you're supposed to use the comma before the and. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. The English language just makes up dumb rules as the, that's gonna be the kill onto Rexar. Yeah, the Oxford comma. Yeah, exactly. And then that guy who writes for a newspaper said that that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to add the comma before the and. The and acts as the comma. Just, I hate it. I hate it. It's like imaginary numbers in math. I'm not gonna solve for X when I'm an adult. Pick and two going out onto two heroes right there. Cocoon onto the Leoric as well as Compute is getting very low. ETC power slides in. Lawlins has to burrow charge away. The blue web weavers from Tricky Gooses finding a lot of value here as Nazebo has hit 114-15 stacks and he's clearing out mid lane. Moshpit from ETC will connect onto, I think that was actually onto the Nazebo. ETC goes for the mid lane fort. This is a really good objective phase from Tricky Gooses. The comma before the and is necessary if you're separating the two items, otherwise it reads like two things mixed together. Huh? Like if I was listing out pizza ingredients, like I would be like dough, comma, pepperoni, comma, cheese, comma, and marinara. Is that right or wrong? I don't know. I don't know anymore. All right, 13s apiece for these teams as we do have Misha getting killed. We're about 9 minutes, we're about 10 minutes in. Turn-in availability does exist to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze, but their waves, their map is so pushed in. The web weavers will push out or will descend as far up as the enemy minion wave. But if all the mini waves are pushed to your keep, all your web weavers are descending like right in front of your keep, so it becomes more of a defensive objective phase than anything else. Leoric gets the Wraith walk out. Did he go for... I can't find Leoric talents. There he is. Okay, so he's auto attack at level 13. So I'm assuming he'll go Mithril Mace at, I think 16? Durr doesn't get interrupted, gets 32 gems turned in. Wise taking a lot of damage, has to Wraith walk away. Dough, tomato, and spices. Okay, yeah, so then I had it right. Okay. When would you not use the comma? I guess that's the better question. Man, people watching back this VOD are like, I didn't come here for an English lesson. I came for Heroes of the Storm. Polymorph onto the ETC, who does finish out the proc rack. A fantastic Horrify from Gul'dan pushes this Noobrek right into Tychus's loving bullet arms. Bullet arms? Anyways, it pushes him into Tychus's minigun, who does go for the overkill. He's trying to spray and pray onto Durr. Any grenades available? That's a nice snipe. You got that melting point as well. Oh, no. No melting point, actually. Oh, wow, that grenade did a lot of damage. There might have actually been some other damage coming in as well, but it seemed like it would have been enough with melting point. Did anyone free Harrison Jones? No. He's still just sitting up there. He's still just waiting. He's still just waiting in his awkward... Look at his face. What is up with his face? Anyways. Boss. So both ways are correct? Oh, God. Where's my friend Brian? He's got an English degree. He can help us out. He actually got a new job, so I don't think he's able to lurk and stream as much as he used to.
My magic is yours.
The difference is, are you British? If you're not British, the second one is for you. If you're British, the first way is correct. What? I learned the first way when I was a kid. That's like the spelling of gray. Because gray can be spelled with an E or an A, but the way that I learned it is that if you're in America, gray is spelled with an A, and if you're in England, gray is spelled with an E. Both ways are correct, but one is weak English. Oh, interesting, okay. Weak English. Webweaver is descending as the boss is being pushed in through bottom and mid. Top lane already really cleared out. Mid actually has a massive wave coming through. This is huge. Guaranteed fort. Some significant damage to the keep front gate, in my opinion. Granted, Gul'dan does have really good wave clear, but this is a huge wave. Bottom lane still very far back, but Leoric is going to be able to push this is going to be able to clear this out even faster. He did go into the Neil Peasant, so he's got the increased wave clear from his skeletal swing. Oh yeah, the way that you spell color as well in Canada, and I'm sure other places as well, but I know that's how I always learned it was in Canada. You spell it with a U. Yeah, I don't, the English, as I said, as my statement was made earlier, and it stands as we are discussing this further. The English language is bullshit. The English language is absolute horseshit. Horrified from Gul'dan. We should all just learn Spanish. That'd be great. Spanish is more fun in my opinion. There's an Entomb from Leoric. They're just trying to save Tychus. There's a mosh pit from ETC. Light Bomb from Anduin that does lock down Anub'arak just as the mosh ends. And Anub'arak tries to burrow away but still falls to the ghostly spectral damage of Wise. 1 gem necessary, and yeah, there's enough for a turn-in to the side of Tricky Gooses. But keep in mind, there's 54 gems. Excuse me, 56 gems in the pockets of Smoothbrain Kamikaze. That's 2 waves to clear out, and they'll have enough for a turn-in as well. Canada is strange. Oh, unless the game ends immediately, Nazeebo will finish out those stacks. Unless the game abruptly ends right now. Oh, there it is, 175. Well, we'll pay out the people at the end because we won't pay it out just yet, because Nazeebo could go for that level 20 where you remove stacks for the self-cleanse. Bad Medicine, if I'm not mistaken, is the talent name. So if he goes that, it could go to the Doubters. So we're not gonna pay out the bet just yet, because there is that 20 talent. Makes things interesting. I honestly don't know what he took at level 20. I mean, so the game might not even go to 20. God, there's a 2-level difference between these teams. Bottom lane getting sieged in extremely hard. Look at all of those little ranged minions that deal a lot of damage into structures. Ranged minions deal double the base damage of melee minions, and minions deal triple damage into structures. Not catapults, just the minions. So if your melee minion's dealing 20 damage, your ranged minions dealing 40 damage, and then into structures, it's 120 damage. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. A nice cleanse from Viper right there as the Horrify comes out from the Gul'dan. Endurance of Hate will be going on to a couple members. Light Bomb from the Anduin will be out as well, and that is a triple kill to the members of Smoothbrain Kamikaze, only losing Misha. And that's also turn-in availability too. Boss, up in about 55 seconds, ETC to fall. That's a rough go for the side of Tricky Gooses. Then you end up with the debates with Mexican Spanish versus Spanish versus Spain versus Colombia versus... Oh, that is true. That is true. That is true. That is very, very true. Yep. I'll never forget, my dad went to a different part of Mexico for work once, and he loves pork rinds, and in Spanish, they're chicharrones. And he went to the plant, and apparently in the area that he was, that is slang for boobs. So my dad, the new manager at this one plant in Mexico, on his first day, was essentially going around asking all the employees, where can I get some good boobs? I'll never forget that. That kills me. Oh. And when he kept asking, people kept giggling, and then everyone was talking about it, and then he finally found out, and he's like, oh Jesus, I've been asking everyone all day. Oh, that was good. That one's good. That one never gets old to me. That story always makes me cackle. Red Web Weavers will descend to the side of Smoothbrain Kamikaze as we have the mid lane already cleared out. Bottom lane does still have the fort, and it seems like top lane is the priority for Tricky Gooses, as the 20 talents are up on both sides. Nazeebo did go into Vile Infection. It's a valid question, though. Alrighty, so bottom lane fort goes down. Seems like the members of Smoothbrain Kamikaze want to push in through bottom lane and make something happen with this Webweaver. It's very low, but still, you have the as the Justing would call them, the babies that are spawned. They actually deal quite a bit of damage. The little summonables from the Webweaver. Misha goes in for the charge, but Leoric already had the Wraithwalk active. All right, Webweaver's end. Leoric does finish out Mithril Mace. I forget what that gives him at the end. Nearby enemies, attack speed, right. It's just attack speed. So, when you finish this, you have 50% increased attack speed, if I'm not mistaken. Because you get the 20 from the increased Leoric's speed by 20. And then, I think you get 50% increased attack speed total. Oh god, we're getting English lessons in chat. Oh no. I guess it's better than math lessons. It's great power slide mosh pit. There's no interrupt onto ETC. The light bomb comes out. That's a double kill for Tricky Gooses. Horrified to be utilized as well as the Anduin will fall. This is going to be the Mephisto to be picked off as well. That is Entomb available. I was waiting to see. There it is with the Buried Alive. Commandeer Odin going for the kill, and that will be Tychus finding said kill. Birdie low on the Gul'dan. Is this a boss call? 15 gems are needed to be picked up, and then, you know, the total turn needs to happen as well. I honestly think they need death timers. The keep is down. I'm like, do they go boss? Do they go core? Do they go boss? Do they go core? It's 19 minutes in. Feels like it's a good core call here. Someone is an Oxford comma hater. No, I just hate English lessons. I'll never forget diagramming sentences in the 8th grade and looking at my mom being like, I don't know when I'll ever use this in my life. And she goes, I don't know either. I know that there's actual value to it, blah, blah, blah. I know that there's value to it, but I really like, I've never as an adult since the 8th grade, yes, when I got to the 9th grade, I actually turned into an adult. But ever since the 8th grade, I've never used diagramming sentences, ever. It's good to understand structure of sentences, blah, 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 but I've never utilized that technique ever. I remember my neighbor's kid was learning it, and I was like, oh, how's school? And she's like, I'm learning diagramming sentences. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I went on a date with a girl who lectured me about the Oxford comma because sometimes I forgot to use it while texting. I don't think I've been so confused and impressed at the same time. All right, Webweavers, 20 minutes in, 20's up, all heroics off of cooldown. Siege Giants through bottom. Let's go ahead and pull away the talents. Let's see, is this a game-winning push? Can they end? Diagramming sentences is basically math for English classes. It's dumb. I agree. My grammar is atrocious. I defend the Oxford comma. I'm cool with it. I use it all the time. So, bottom lane gets pushed up. Here's the Commandeer Odin. I'm assuming Big Red Button was the pickup at 20 for... Did he go Big Red Button? No, he actually didn't. Okay. He went for can do this all day. I feel like I never see this at level 20. We can look at that a little bit later. Sorry, I completely missed it for 3 levels that he didn't go Big Red Button. Bottom lane keep goes down. Mid lane keep should fall. This seems like it should be GG. There's so much attacking the core. Or approaching the core. But it doesn't seem like Tricky Gooses are going to look to end here. They don't... Oh, okay. Hey, they got that side gate thingy over here. Okay, all right. We're still going. All right, let's take a look at the Titus build because I feel like I don't see this very often. He went into the spray and pray. Overkill slows enemy movement speed by 25%. Its range increased by 25. Armor piercing grounds. Each time overkill hits an enemy, its damage against them is increased by 15%, stacking up to 60 bonus damage. Okay. And then at level 20, can do this all day. Reduce Overkill's cooldown by 5 seconds while channeling Overkill. Titus gains 40 armor. That's pretty good right there. And I'm curious, what is the cooldown? I don't think the tooltip upgrade or update. So it goes down to a 7-second cooldown with that level 20. Interesting. Okay. I feel like I never see this. That's kind of an interesting grab at 13, 16, and 20. for the slow, the armor is it, or the damage increase, and then also giving yourself some armor. It's like never ending a sentence with a prepositional phrase. It makes sense in English, so why not? Aren't you? You're not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition, right? Or I don't know. I don't remember. That was in the 6th grade. I learned my prepositions. ETC powers. Oh wow! A great phase shift in from the Brightwing. ETC Mosh Pit will be cocooned away. That's going to be a burrow in from the Anubarak with the rewind value, setting up the double kill. He's going to go in once again with that rewind value. There's a very low Anubarak, and he doesn't go down. I thought he still had the Spectral Leech applied as Nazebo clears out the 2 waves in mid. Man, oh man, are we just, we're playing catch here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're going to one core, we're going to the other. I'll end my sentence however I want. Yeah, there you go. Counter example, where are you from? Yeah. Did anyone have to memorize prepositions in school? I remember when I got into the 6th grade, I changed schools. I went from public to Catholic school. And I remember I was so undereducated. Like, I remember like it was like the first week of English class, and like they started like talking about like prepositions and stuff like that, and I was like, the fuck are you guys talking about? What are these words? And so yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. I also had to do a Stations of the Cross thing, and I remember I asked my mom for help, and she's like, but I can't help you with this one. Yeah, religion stuff was very, very difficult in our household because we didn't have that. We didn't have that education. Phonics wasn't really a part of my school. I don't really know what a preposition is. I mean, I can't define it for you. I'm an idiot. Boston top lane. All right. While we talk about prepositions, Boston top lane is going to find 50% of the keep. Bottom lane, Nazebo still stacking 313 stacks from Nazebo. For anyone wondering, Vile Infection, after reaching 175 stacks, a Voodoo Ritual, it can be also applied to heroes, and its damage is increased from 164 to 411 over 6 seconds. And then just the baseline right here, Nazebo basic attacks and ability, cause them to take 164 additional damage over 6 seconds if a minion dies. Poisoned by a Voodoo Ritual. Nazebo permanently gains 6 health and 1 mana. How much health does Nazebo currently have with 325 stacks? Nazebo has nearly 8,000 HP. I go to yell and Bandit farted. Dear Lord, it's a stinky one. Power Slide ETC. Phase shift from Brightwing onto the Entombed Anubarak. There's going to be a Horrify from Gul'dan. I think Brightwing still had that phase shift. Yeah, Lullen's still going to get back to full HP. Pops the rewind. There's a death metal. Death mosh, death metal, however you want to call it realistically, but it is death metal for the ETC, so that does lock down Anubarak for a second or two. Dur getting very low. There's going to be a burrow charge in from the Anubarak. He doesn't have rewind as he's already used it as a cocoon onto the Tychus. Gul'dan trying to clear things out. There's going to be Wise in the backline, going to get shredded by the enemy as Anubarak might have another burrow impale combo. There's a light bomb to deter the enemy. Misha will eat that. There's the polymorph, the burrow charge, the impale. A lot of damage onto Tychus. And he goes down. Now, is this going to be the game-winning push? They do actually have turn-in. They could go for a turn-in here. Alrighty. Top lane keep goes down. And now they can end, because you have to at least take down one keep in Heroes of the Storm before it ends. Dur taking a lot of damage, needs to back away. Anubarak goes in for the burrow. The combo, is there a rewind? Durance of Fate will go out, and that is going to be the Gul'dan dead. Power slide from ETC, and Anubarak will fall in tomb with the Buried Alive from Wise onto a few. And no, the game, it ain't over yet, chat. It ain't over. We're 27 minutes into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Wise? Ooh, actually, Rexstar has the level 16 aspect of Hawk, or level 13 aspect of Hawk for that auto attack speed, but Misha does go down. All right, I guess they turn in. I don't know the first thing about English grammar. Oh, dude, like, I don't know anything about English grammar. My mom and I had this conversation once, and I was like, what I told her, I was like, I just kind of put commas where I think they need to go, and she's like, I do the same thing. Me fail English? That's impossible. Hey, Frozen Italiano. Oh, man. No one knows anything about English grammar. It's always changing. I feel like even people with English majors, they don't know. They don't know either. They're just like, you know, I got a rough idea. ETC is split from his team. Nubrak goes in for the combo, pops the rewind, gets another impale onto Duck. There's a polymorph onto ETC. This cow is just being absolutely bullied right now as the Nubrak goes in for the burrow, connects onto Birdie, Cocoon onto the Tychus. Good targeting with that one as the Entomb with the Buried Alive. Where does Tychus spit out? He's actually on the far side of the Entomb. Not that it really mattered that he was going to get any sort of silence, but still, just where he's locked in. ETC gets polymorphed, and Mosh Pit will be canceled. Durns of Fade onto a couple members in the backline. Birdie getting very low, and the Skull Missile from the fadeaway shot gets the kill. Another kill. Man, oh man, is Dur popping off on this Mephisto. ETC, he's isolated, he's body blocked, and he is a pig. Well, he's a cow, but you saw he was a pig. All right. Is this enough to end the game? Tychus is the lone defender. Jacqueline Hyde wants to end the game. 360 stacks. That is 8,300 and something HP for the Nazebo. And I think 29 minutes in, we are going to be seeing the members of Smooth Brain Kamikaze take this series in a 2-1 way. Tychus goes down. That right there is your pentakill. And the core will fall. GG goes over to Smooth Brain Kamikaze. 29 minutes and 27 seconds into the third map. English isn't a language. It's 3 languages in a trench coat with 5 dialects as close as shiz and a hat. Well, I'm gonna copy this and send it to my friend who's got an English major.